Hello, I'm inside my house today because it's winter in Oregon and it's cold and wet outside, so I thought I'd do this in here. This video is an adjunct to a piece I wrote on hitting the golf ball straight and accurately. It's on my blog. You can find the link to it below. So what you really need to do is watch this video and read the write-up to have everything fit together. Now, I'm going to tell you how to hit the ball straight, that is without curvature, and how to hit the ball where you want it to go, that's accurate. Before we do that, I want to give you a brief lecture in functional anatomy of the upper limb. Now, the upper limb is what we commonly call the arm, but it has three joints: the shoulder, elbow, and wrist. And the arm, technically speaking, is the upper limb from the shoulder to the elbow. The forearm is the upper limb from the elbow to the wrist, and then we have the hand. Now, how does this move? Well, the wrist can move through the x-axis like this, or the y-axis like this. But to move through the z-axis, the forearm rotates. That's how we move the hand that way. The elbow can only move in the x-axis. The shoulder, however, can move in all three: X movement, Y movement, and to a limited extent, Z movement. Now let's talk about the forearms in a little more detail. If I let my forearm hang down, it's in a neutral position based on how I'm built. If I turn this way and let it go, it comes right back to here. If I turn this way, let it go, comes right back to the same place. And we're going to use that anatomical fact to build our grip and to build our swing. The grip is the really easy part. Sole the club, let your arms hang down naturally, and just put your left hand on it. I haven't turned this. Now I'm going to, and then I bring my right hand over, and now my right forearm is in neutral position. This will guarantee that the club will not rotate due to my grip. If I am over here, have a strong grip, which a lot of recreational golfers like to have, these forearms are out of position. They're going to want to get back to their normal position, neutral position, and look, there's a closed club face. That's why people with a strong grip hit so many hooks, because they're not built like that. This is my grip. So how do you take this grip? It's really very easy on the golf course. Just let your arms hang down. There you go. That's it. And if you do this, you're going to get the same grip every time. That's very important, to get the same grip every time. Now, let's build this neutral forearm into our swing. The role of the forearms in the swing is to have no roll. They do not rotate. You'll have instructors who say rotate your forearms, but I don't really think they understand what they're saying. Because when you swing the club up, know the forearm is facing this way, but when you swing the club up, and now it's facing here, they say the forearm rotated. Well, it didn't. This is forearm rotation, okay? And the forearm didn't do that. All of the rotation in the backswing comes from the shoulder, okay? If the hand is here and then it ends up here, well, it had to have X movement, it had to have Y movement, and it also had to have Z movement, but all that movement came from the shoulder. So never think rotate your forearms. If you rotate your forearms, and I see a lot of people doing this, they take the club back and all of a sudden they're here. Well, they're going to have to figure out how to undo that rotation before they get back to the ball. And I had a friend who used to do this, and he hit wicked slices, and he couldn't figure out why. Well, he was opening the club, and he closed it, but it was too late. The club face was open when he hit the ball. Now it's closed, but the ball's already gone. So don't rotate your forearms. And some people will tell you to rotate your forearms hard when you swing through the ball, like this. And that gives you a lot of club head speed, I'll admit, but it sets up a serious timing problem for you, and then you have to have the club head square at exactly the right moment, or you hit wicked slices or duck hooks. But if your forearms don't move, don't rotate, then You're always going to be perfectly square. Now I'll show you an exercise at the end of this video on how to teach yourself to swing without moving your forearms. Now we want to talk about direction. How do you hit the ball where you intend it to go? Well, the first thing, it should be obvious, that you aim where you want to go. And aim is something that is neglected and misunderstood by, boy that's loud, by a lot of golfers. And here's how to do it. I'm going to hit the ball right toward you, and I cover the ball with my shaft and point the shaft toward my target. And I look down in front of the ball and draw an imaginary line of about 3 or 4 inches. And if you're on grass, you might see a piece of grass or something that you can key on. I step in and square out my club to that line, get into my stance, then drag this against my heels. Okay. Now I step back and take a look. Well, that's not right because it's pointing way to the left. I thought I was aligned, but I wasn't. So I'm going to try this one more time. I find my aim line, place the club, and this is the hard part. The easy part is lining up your club to the aim line. The hard part is stepping it parallel to that line. But now I pull my alignment stick against my heels, and now this is perfect. Both those lines are parallel. Now in the setup, which includes the grip, your aim, your stance, your posture, ball position, most of those, once you have them figured out, they're fixed forever. But aim is not like that. Aim can and will drift. So every time you go to the range, do this before you hit golf balls. And when you go play and you're warming up, do this before you hit golf balls. Okay? It'll count for a whole lot. Now the second thing to do to hit the golf ball straight is to pay attention to your right knee. If you watch a lot of recreational golfers, this is how you'll see them turn. Watch my lower body. There's not a lot of turn there, is there? Not a lot of turn. And what happens when you don't turn is you block yourself. So if I come through and I don't turn, now my swing is forced to come out into this position. But if my unconscious mind realizes that this is happening, it's going to try to rescue the shot by swinging around this way, and it's really hard to get it right. It's probably going to overshoot, and then you go left. And all of that is because you don't turn. If you use your right knee as the driver of your turn, this knee coming through, you're going to complete your turn. This right knee drives your turn. So I swing down and see how my right knee came here. Now, when my right knee is guiding my turn, I'm right at you. Okay. That are the 2 ways, those are the 2 ways to hit the golf ball straight. Aim and the right knee. Now in this little write-up that I have on my blog site, I talk about a lot more than this. And there are some drills that I recommend, 5 drills, and I want to show you what those look like. So you read the description, but you can see a video and know what I'm doing. The first one is for takeaway. And the purpose of these drills is, in the write-up, I don't want to have to repeat that. I'm just going to show you how to do it. Set up. Take the club back about this far. Then freeze your forearms, freeze your wrists, and return the club to the ball. And you can see already, just in those 2 feet, my club face has got closed. So I have to learn how to take the club away without closing the club face. Do it again. That time I got it right. So practice this. This is the takeaway drill. Second drill is the setup drill. More shots are ruined by inconsistencies in the setup than by swing flaws. I'm going to show you how I set up Do these things in this order. This is how a lot of professionals do it too. This is not just Bob. There's solid evidence that this is the right way to set up. I'm going to show you in a face-on view. So I have my aim, okay, and I come down. First thing I do is set the club down, square to my little aim line. Then I go left foot, right foot, grip, ball position. Come up a little bit, do my meditation, which I talk about in the write-up. Come down, posture, and go. One more time in real time. Aim, left foot, right foot, grip, ball position, meditation, posture, go. Practice that. You do have to practice that. So when you are on the course, this is what comes out every time. Every time. You have to do that. Now, I mentioned earlier that I was going to give you a drill that teaches you how to swing the club without rotating your forearms. It's a very easy drill. I'm sure you've done this. I'm just going to swing my arms. I get into a stance position and just swing my arms like this. And if you do this, you're going to find that your arms are very relaxed and free, and you're not rotating your forearms at all. Then when I pick up a club and I swing with my arms having the same feeling, I'm not rotating my forearm. Okay? Now, the third drill is, I'll use the same club, is the hands lead the club head. When you're coming into the impact zone, the hands have to get there first before the club head. Every good golfer does that. Every poor golfer does the other way around. They flip. You know about flipping. This is a death move. This is what you have to learn how to do. And you do that by taking your sand wedge and swinging. You swing up and just let gravity drop, and you'll find that the hand gets there first. Okay? Do a few with the left hand, and do a few with the right hand, just like this. You don't have to be turning, it's just a hand drill. And then start with both hands. Learn to do this with both hands. The next drill is the half swing drill. The half swing drill, you get to practice 4 things at the same time. You get to practice having relaxed arms. You get to practice forearms not rotating. You practice the hands leading the club head, and you practice the right knee moving. Okay? Okay. The final drill is the finish drill. The finish drill teaches you about the position that a lot of golfers take for granted, which is the finish. To get a good finish, you have to be doing a lot of things right beforehand. So, swing, take a half swing, all the way back to the finish, and hold it. Notice where my right knee is. Do it from this down the line position. Notice that my belt buckle is facing you. I'm not here. I finished my turn. Practice that a lot. So there you have it. Several ways that you should put into your swing to take out the curvature. Several ways to hit the ball straight. And 5 drills that you can use to put this and other things into your swing. I'm the recreational golfer. Thanks for watching.